is on the line. And Tom, would you mind telling my listeners why it would have been remiss of me not to take your call today?
Good morning, James.
Hello, mate.
So I'm the grandson of Sir Captain Tom Moore.
Well, thank you for calling in today, and it's rather lovely to know that you were listening to everybody queuing up to pay tribute to your grandfather. It reminds me, and actually seeing your face reminds me, that while there's a very warm and feeling to the commemorations, you've lost your granddad, and so I'll begin with my commiserations and my condolences.
No, thank you. It is a sad time. It is a very sad time, and just listening to everyone passing on their condolences and hearing such warm thoughts. I listen to the show every morning, and it really, really hit me. Oh. I think yesterday, I think it was more shock. So I didn't have too much time to sink in. But so this morning, when I'm hearing everything from everyone, it's really nice. And I thought I'd have to call in and really give a better sense of what he was like as a granddad.
Oh, well, that would be lovely. So he'd been a hero to you for your entire life. The rest of us just had the last 10 months or so.
Exactly. So I think giving some further detail on him, he is what you see on TV. He's just a go-getter. He doesn't slow down for anyone, even 100 years old with a Zimmer frame. Yeah, walking laps in the garden. He'd always taught me. So I remember growing up with him, we'd go ride bikes along a train track in Gravesend, and he wouldn't slow down for me. He wouldn't slow down for me. He'd just carry on going. He said, "Come on, Thomas. Come on, Thomas." and yeah, so it's all of those lovely memories, and I just wanted to share that with people.
I'm so glad we can help you do it. Did you? I mean, it's funny, isn't it, when it's your own family? Everyone, or almost everyone, has a granddad. Do you remember realising that yours was a bit out of the ordinary? Was there a moment or a period where you thought, hang on, not everybody's got a granddad like mine?
Do you know what? I think it was when I was at work, and someone came up to me and they showed me this video on Facebook, and they were like, "This is your granddad, isn't it?" I said, "It is, yeah." And I said, "Do you know what? This is quite big, isn't it?" And then you realise how big it is. And then you're getting messages. And then when people start realising you're the grandson, then it's like, wow, people want to meet you. And it's so nice just to hear everything, all the words that were said about him throughout the entire thing. I never heard anything negative.
No,
it really
nor would we have allowed a single syllable of negativity today,
good,
Tom. Which,
Thank
it's absolutely as it were. You listen to the show quite regularly, so you know that's not the normal way that we do things on here. But did he give any thought, or did he just let it all wash over him as to why it blew up so magnificently and so enormously?
I think it was with that. I think he didn't think too much into it. He just thought, it is what it is. we get on with it. Typical Yorkshire, typical Yorkshireman. And I thought that was brilliant. He got on with it, and he didn't think too much of it, and he didn't expect anything. So when my auntie Hannah, when she originally set that out, that was so private. That wasn't meant to go anywhere. The original challenge, that was just something for him. Because he always likes a challenge, and right. This was the best thing about it. He wanted something to do. Yeah, he did. He didn't want to just sit around. He wanted something to do. And getting up in his chair and walking up and down the garden, he wanted to do that. Just as a little challenge for him. And then soon as people got wind of it, I mean, rest is history, isn't it?
Well, it is, absolutely. Genuinely history, actually. It's a figure of speech, but his name will be carved in the annals of the country. Which bits did he find most exciting or most delighting about what happened?
I know how much it meant to him meeting the Queen.
Yeah.
I know how much that meant to him. It's a shame we couldn't be there, but it was... I just know how much joy that would have brought to him. And he's such a patriot and to the country, and that was amazing to see. And I think what really got to me was when he was talking about the Spitfires flying over him. You know, it was a good day and a bad day for him in terms of remembering what happened when he was in Burma and when the planes flew over. So, you know, it reminisced with him. Everything was so personal.
Yes. Yes.
You know, it was so personal.
Exactly that. Somehow the personal became the public, didn't it, through your granddad?
Yes, it did. And it was just amazing to see. And you could really see it in his eyes. Everything was just so, it touched him. It touched his heart. And I think that's why people could connect with him, and that he was doing it for the NHS. He wasn't thinking about himself. He was thinking about, you know, passing on a love. And I think that's what really caught people's eyes, and I caught mine and the families, and we saw, you know, we got a special man on our case. We need to show people what he's about.
And you remind us, sadly, that of course the ability to say goodbye in a normal way is still not possible. So are you and the family bearing up okay? I mean, presumably you're in touch with each other in all the usual ways, but you're not going to be able to have the kind of send-off that both he deserves and you would want.
I know, and I think that is it's a tough one. Yeah, it's a really tough one. But knowing him, he'd want something nice and small, quiet. We all get on with it. And I don't think he'd want anything too lavish. But I will definitely remember him for everything he's done and for what he's done for all the grandchildren. You know, he's been a great father figure. Well, father figure,
of course,
to all of us. And
and the hole he leaves in your lives will, of course, be huge. But bizarrely, given that at the age of 99, none of us had ever heard of him, the hole he leaves in the country's consciousness is pretty big too.
I think that's what the craziest thing is about all of this is he was a nobody before all of this. Yeah. And I remember we'd go over twice a year before the pandemic. We'd go over twice a year, and we'd have a nice little chat with him. You know, he'd speak to my brother about the girls he's dating. Yeah. And it was just so normal, and it was so nice. And he'd always have a question. He'd be like, "How's work?" He'd be, "How's work?" And I'd be like, "It's good, you know, it's good." And it was really nice and that's what I will miss. And
of course.
But yeah, he was a great figure for all of us, and he showed so much resilience. You know, if you fell over, my mum would always tell me if she fell over, she hurt herself, he would be like, "Get up, Lucy, let's go. We move forward." You know, and I think that's the military aspect of it, and then that's rubbed off on all of us, the family. We got to keep moving. We got to look ahead. We got to stay positive. And I think that was the best thing about him, and it's all rubbed off on us, and in a sense, the whole country.